Thanks for joining us, and we continue our exclusive here on Nile TV International with His Excellency Yerlan Baydawlat, the Director General of the Islamic Organization for Food Security. We're talking about the strategic framework and the mission, as well as the vision to secure food, the agricultural policies to reduce food crisis at the member state. And His Excellency was telling us more about the activities that he had undertaken here on this important visit to Egypt, meeting with Egyptian officials and thinking of the future. Definitely, Your Excellency, lots of projects are there if we're talking about tangible success on solid grounds.
True. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm so thankful for your question. Actually, this is our approach. To not just talk, but immediately act. And as I already mentioned, we are not just signing documents for shelves, to keep it on shelf. We should have it as a framework to arrange our action. And in this regard, what we discussed with the government of Egypt, first, we are going to inclusively consider our counterparts in Egypt as a part of our matrix, of our, let's say, project-wise, project-related matrix. What I'm talking about? I'm talking about that now our officials, and I'm His Excellency Minister of Agriculture, today expressed his readiness to be part of our activities related to development of, we call it Grain Fund. Is our, inshallah, new subsidiary, which is we are going to establish very soon. And,
Grain Fund.
Grain Fund, yes.
This rings a bell because, as you know, Excellency, Egypt is going green, since we are actually expecting to host the big event that would be the hitting headline worldwide, the COP27. So we're talking about climate change, we're talking green economy, transforming Sharm el-Sheikh into a green city. So it goes along with the aims of the organization and the Green Fund.
Yes, absolutely. It's, you are really touching the substance of our activities. What we are going to develop, of course, we understand that this nowadays situation with climate change is really drastic. What we witnessing every day really problems, natural disasters, and of course this kind of natural or climate change things damaging the whole situation related to food security. We are talking about deforestation, we're talking about desertification, we're talking about soil salinity and soil quality degradation. All these points we would like to cover, but again, I already mentioned, it is impossible for one institution to cover it. And in order not to replicate activities of such a multiple number of institutions which are actually in field, our intention is to identify those projects which are really focused on our main mission. Our main mission again is to ensure sustainable food security. In this regard, one of the points which we have been discussed with His Excellency the Minister of Agriculture is how to facilitate value-added activities with our countries. And I was very happy to hear from His Excellency that he talked about Egypt, but same time generously discussion was about African countries.
Yes.
And we agreed that that some of these activities, project-related activities, will be based on the our training capacity, on our capacity building activities, on activities related to promoting new technologies and bringing them to the field of small farming. But same time we were thinking how Egypt can be part of the big intra-OIC supply chain. I mentioned that only 4 countries in Africa, I just would mention them, Chad, Niger, Sudan, Somalia, the quantity of livestock is exceeding 300 million units. Such a quantity is more than enough to feed the whole world. And I also, 1 week ago, we visited a big African food system summit in Kigali, in Rwanda. And we witnessed a lot of very live discussions and exchange of information. And we found from the first persons, like President of Niger, President of Rwanda, President of Zimbabwe, President of Tanzania, how those countries are very much concerned with this situation. And we, of course, we are in that stage. We are still young institution, I would like to say. But same times we identifying areas to where our project could be done together with our partners. And back to livestock development, we have an approach called livestock ecosystem, where we would like to propose the whole value chain. So in that life ecosystem, we have a number of our programs which are going to be part of the whole chain. So our intention to support our member countries on developing the whole food processing industries, logistics system, export capacity. We understand that it's not easy. It needs a lot of funding. It really needs a lot of efforts. But we are sure that we can do it together with our countries, and we have a number of partners. The synergy of partnership. Only this day we really understanding what is the synergy, when we are not replicating, but we complementing each other. This is extremely important.
That's a great point. You know, it's magic here, because it's very important that we are complementing each other and we are working on the strong points of each other. And this is what we can see actually in our sense of partnership when we are talking food security at a time which is very challenging also while we are trying to adapt to climate change issues. And climate change is already impacting food security to a great extent, and the nutrition in the vulnerable countries in Africa and the world. Your Excellency said that in your talks with Egyptian officials, you sense that they are talking Africa. Yes, because Egypt is actually talking also the voice of Africa.
It's a gateway.
Exactly, and talking the voice of Africa at COP27. So the organization and further fostering relations with Africa through Egypt, the gateway to Africa. How do you see that?
It's very good. I'm so thankful to you, Madam, for this idea, which is actually being implemented these days. We have launched our Year of Africa in May. And all the time we were thinking how we can find a proper way to facilitate, because these activities is not easy, frankly speaking. For us, Cairo and Egypt itself, it's a kind of gateway to enter the markets. It is a place, it is a country which is able to share some accumulated knowledge, which is also has a lot to support our African member countries. And we discussed, for example, the issue of the tripartite partnership, where, for example, for Somalia, IFS, government of Egypt and federal government of Federal Republic of Somalia can join hands and work together. For example, with regard to livestock, And one of the good news which we would like to share with our audience is that former Minister of Agriculture of Somalia, Mr. Taghreed Hussein, he joined us as a special envoy of IFS to Africa. And we constantly are now thinking how we can work and resolve those multiple issues which we are facing in Africa. And with such a circumstances where we actually facing some, let's say, limits of financial resources or human resources, again, partnership with member countries, sharing knowledge and bringing strong partners instead of just them to replicate it, just to complement and work together. This is a way for us to we can do it, and this is the first one of the good samples. Again, it is, for example, with Ministry of Water of Egypt. We discussed an opportunity to support Sahel region. In June, on IFS high-level forum for food security, which have been arranged in Almaty, we have invited a number of African delegations. Some of them from in Niger, Burkina Faso, Uganda, Nigeria. And we have signed a unique plan, we call it Water Integrated Plan, which allows us to bring best practices, to bring new technologies on ground in that country which really facing a lot of problems. And I'm sure that our partner and the Ministry of Water and Irrigation of Egypt can be partner with us to support people, to bring them for training to here, and with some of them identify areas to enter that country. And we agreed also that after 1 month, on 16 and 17 of October, during Cairo Water Week,
we can see here the great endeavors also in Africa that is very fruitful and reflecting, and also on our sense of partnerships. Well, Your Excellency, we were mentioning information and the exchange of information, and in the age of artificial intelligence now, I guess that disseminating this sense of information has become much more easier with easy access and facilitations. Also providing allowing the world to build on new complementary agricultural and nutrition models, supporting agricultural biodiversity for nutritious food. So I guess this is also very important to the organization.
Absolutely. It is part of our strategic framework. Under our pillar capacity building, we have a number of programs, very important programs, which are actually dealing with issues related to science, technology, innovation. And in this regard, artificial intelligence, biotech, agri-tech, issues related to digitalization of agriculture are very crucial for us. And we started to discuss with a number of our partners in OIC geography how we can work together and to bring value added to our countries. Today, for example, one of the points which we discussed with Minister of Water and Irrigation of Egypt was a program which we developing together with Islamic Academy of Sciences, which is located in Jordan, in Amman, a program on developing aquaponic network. Aquaponics is now is I'm sure you heard about it. It's opportunities through effective utilization of water to bring added production of fishery and saving not only water, saving energy. We have during this year, since we met each other, we visited a number of countries, and I'm proud to say that we established very good relations with some advanced companies in this regard in Jordan and recently in Dubai, where through vertical farming you can just having a water, you can produce greeneries.
Yes.
And this kind of things we now trying to elaborate.
This is the future.
It's a future. It's a future. It's through Rayu already mentioned a green approach. And also extremely important to understand that new methodology of green economies, which is going to be well discussed through COP27. And my congratulations to the government of Egypt for all your arrangement. And the IFS is going to be part of this important event. We understanding that new technologies and best practices, there is enough space and enough resources to bring them for our basic agriculturists. And I'm sure government of Egypt will be part of this very important program for us. We consider that these activities will be done not only by us only. We need partnership. We need good and complementary activities together with research institution, not only in OIC geography. We're talking about advanced center outside of Islamic world.
And
yes,
technology.
Yeah, and new innovation and technologies. And I can proudly say that probably inshallah, after one more year, we would be share with you good success stories in this regard. As a dynamism allowing us to work day and night. And we understand that now it's time to really to show to our people that our word is being implemented.
Yes.
And our strategies, it's our way of resolving such a crucial issues related to food security in our countries.
Yes, I've asked the question of innovation and scientific research because I know that since Your Excellency came to office at the helm of this organization, you've been taking great strides in that respect and also prioritizing let me say the future language, the language of the future, which is which are plans co-relevant to scientific research and based on science and technology. Talking about the stability of food supply in minutes, access and utilization, this is very important to make the food supply chain quite stable amidst all the challenges that we see.
Yes, I think it is many times already told in different occasions in High Tribune, in big events since beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about this disruption of the food supply chain. And we're witnessing ourselves, or even on our daily table in our kitchens, how the price for food is going up. We understand that is something which we have to not just to think, but also try to bring a proper solution. Because one of the important prerequisites for resolving these kind of things is professional skills. It's a systemic approach. It is understanding and fixing the interest of our counterparts. And this brings us really some synergy, which we witnessed already during this year many times. I hope that on those challenges which you just mentioned, it is very difficult to resolve all of them. It is almost impossible. But what is we see as a target and the goal for us is to try to bring a hope and a knowledge to our people, those who really share with us our values, sharing the strategy goals of our organization. And we have a lot of stakeholders, and I'm very happy to state that government of Egypt and will be part of our activities for long-term period. And today we also agreed that Egyptian agro and food entrepreneurs will be part of our agenda for private sector driven agenda. And we hope that a research institution which have achieved good results and have good technologies, could be through the network of extension center to bring it on ground to benefit. To benefit our partner, our farmers.
Yeah.
And finally, again, when we talk about food security, we have not to forget that we can talk a lot, but if small farmers will not get proper support, a lot of our activities could be really minimized. So
yeah, that's why
it is our focus now.
On Farmers' Day here in Egypt, the president hailed the farmers' dedication to achieving food security. And we do have here more than one program, as Your Excellency would know, like the Takaful and Karama, the Decent Life Initiative. All those presidential initiatives are working on securing those our families in Upper Egypt, in the rural areas or more. Your Excellency, there has been lots of hopes, fortunately, that has been translated into action on solid grounds. We're really happy and proud of your efforts in that respect. Wish to see more definitely happening and coming. I thank you very much, Your Excellency, Yerlan Baydawlat, the Director General of the Islamic Organization for Food Security, for coming to our studios at Nile TV International exclusively. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Madam, and I express that we will meet more and really share with our audience, with our esteemed citizens of our member countries really value-added activities. And this is our intention, and this is our daily activities. And I hope that throughout such a media, esteemed media, mass media like yours, we would be able to bring that knowledge and awareness to each of our person living in our countries. I'm thankful to you and expressing my hope that we will work more and longer for the sustainable food security of OIC countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. We shine together, and may God bless your efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, that was exclusive with Taghreed Hussein. Many thanks for watching.